Hi, this is Snowqueen and you watch Dante Boxing Nation. You can follow me on my Instagram at SnowQueenLA.
I come
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So history often repeats itself when it comes to the sport of boxing, and Terence Crawford is a prime example of that. For damn near 10 years now, America's old media has been trying to resist the reality of Terence Crawford being pound for pound the best fighter in the world, which is very analogous to when Floyd Mayweather was pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Old media tried to resist it for as long as they could. When it comes to Crawford, this goes all the way back to the Chocolatito Gonzalez days. Do you guys remember when old media was saying that Roman Gonzalez was pound for pound the best fighter in the world over Terence Crawford? Then after Roman Gonzalez got knocked out, old media, they started to say that Lomachenko was pound for pound over Crawford. Then when Lomachenko lost, they started to say that Canelo was pound for pound over Crawford. Then when Canelo Alvarez lost and Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence, they started to say Naoya Inoue was pound for pound over Terence Crawford. Then out of nowhere, they started to say that Usyk was pound for pound over Terence Crawford. And when I say they, I'm not talking about all of them, because throughout all of these debates on who the best fighter was, they always periodically, at least the majority of them, always periodically had Crawford at number one until they found a new favorite fighter from another country that they felt they could replace Crawford with. But the replacement was always temporary. They were basically like substitute pound for pound teachers. They show up to work for one day and they never come back. It's pretty crazy when you think about the fact that Roman Gonzalez, once again, a guy that was compared to a Terence Crawford, but today when you look at Roman Gonzalez, he's looked at as a super old fighter that's way past his prime. But he's actually the exact same age as Terence Crawford, 37 years old. And Lomachenko, who's talking about retiring right now, is younger than Terence Crawford. He's 36. Which just shows you guys that Terence Crawford is completely on a different level in the sport of boxing over everyone in the sport. And he continues to prove it over and over and over again. And it's gotten to the point today where it's pretty unanimous that Crawford is the undisputed pound for pound best fighter in the world. So not only is the majority of old media calling Crawford the best fighter in the world, but finally all of the Black American boxers are acknowledging that Crawford is the best fighter in the world. Because you guys remember, it wasn't that long ago that there were a couple of black boxers that was going against the grain, following old media's lead, saying that Canelo was the best fighter in the world. But even they have conformed, and now they're speaking the whole truth unapologetically. And that's exactly what I was talking about when I say stay on code. So a lot of the boxers, a lot of the pound for pound best fighters in the world, they are unanimously saying that Crawford is the best fighter in the world. So it's pretty interesting when I tell you guys that for the longest, America's old media has been trying to find a fighter from a different country to replace the American number one pound for pound best fighter in the world, Terence Crawford. And you know the agenda in America is extremely clear when you have people from other countries actually pointing it out. Because Turki Al-Sheikh actually spoke on it, basically saying what's going on in America when it comes to the pound for pound list. This is what he said earlier this year.
Inoue is a great boxer, but Crawford is the pound for pound number one. I don't know how the ranking works or if there's a clear criteria, but it seems like there are some personal opinions and inaccuracies involved. I believe that boxing needs one entity to evaluate with transparency and credibility. Soon, I will support a project for that matter.
And then Turki Al-Sheikh responded to someone comparing Crawford to Inoue, and this is what he said.
Crawford, like Inoue, was undisputed in 2 weight divisions. However, he fights in a deeper weight class, which is 147. While 122 is good, it's still not the same. Additionally, Crawford dismantled Spence in explosive fashion. Spence was no worse than number 5 pound for pound. Inoue has never faced someone who was in the pound for pound top 10.
This is how real impartial fans from the outside of America see it looking in. This is the reason why fighters like Floyd Mayweather, when he went outside of the country, after he beat Oscar De La Hoya and Ricky Hatton, he shows up in the UK and over 5,000 boxing fans show up at a media workout that he does in the UK.
When Floyd Mayweather went to Russia, he took part in a boxing event which was organized by Boxing Academy in association with Russian Timber Group and state corporation Rostec. A local concert hall was turned into a platform for an open training session and masterclass by the undefeated retired fighter. The event broke a Guinness World Record for the amount of people who took part in the massive boxing lesson. It was attended by 791 people, and more about 3,000 spectators were present on the podium.
You know, this is truly the Cinderella Man story. America has the best talent when it comes to boxing, and even outside of boxing. And this is the reason why fighters like Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, and Terence Crawford have been praised far more from fighters and fans outside of the country, because they see how special these fighters are and they want to do the same things that these special American fighters do. Here's another one of those fighters praising Terence Crawford as the best fighter in the world.
Things like that, do you care about things like that? Do you care about being ranked in the pound for pound? Is that also a target, a dream?
For me, no. For me, doesn't matter. For me, pound for pound, number one is Terence Crawford. I like this man. It's a great fighter. It's a terrible, tough boxer. For me, maybe number 17.
And I can't find the clip right now, but even Lomachenko, when they were saying that Lomachenko was pound for pound number one over Terence Crawford, Lomachenko, he surprised old media and he told them in an interview that Crawford is number one. And then you have what Madrimov said about Crawford. Shout out to Snow Queen. If you guys didn't recognize her, I had her in my intro at the beginning of this video.
Кто pound for pound number one face of boxing, лицо бокса, да, это у нас Канело, это у нас Джервонта Дэвис, у нас Теренс Кроуфорд. Вот для тебя, кто из этих трех людей лицо бокса?
Для меня Теренс Кроуфорд, потому что я всегда говорил об этом, всегда, потому что он конкретно умный боксер, левша, правша дерется, по техническим смотришь, и он лучше для меня, да? Сейчас паунд по паунд, он считаем первый номер. Да, и Ноя хороший, он тоже высоко.
Tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodekey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.